Greetings. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of the Who I Am as a Filmmaker project. As we embark on our journey together, I'd like to take a moment to remind you of what the great Robert Wise once said. My 3 Ps, passion, patience, and perseverance. You have to do this if you've got to be a filmmaker. The Who Am I as a Filmmaker project is one of the capstones of the centralized track. This video is meant to encapsulate the passion that brought you to Full Sail University and your driving force on your journey as a filmmaker. The short video should include imagery of what drives your passion and examples of your work thus far. The Who I Am project will be completed before the start of Project and Portfolio 3. During the course of your studies, you'll be introduced to the components that you'll need to complete the project. During your portfolio classes, you will refine those components and begin the next stage of your journey. The Who Am I as a Filmmaker project is not just a retelling of how you came to Full Sail. This project should be an example of your artistic expression. Picture for a moment the day after graduation. You've been creating videos for over 2 years. You've asked friends and family to help in these projects. Whenever someone works on the film, no matter how small, they talk about it. They talk to their friends. Eventually, they tell someone who doesn't know you, and that person will do what every human being with an internet connection does. They Google it. What is going to appear is whatever social media site you use the most, and hopefully your professional site. But near the top is going to be this little video. This little video called Who I Am as a Filmmaker. I don't know about you, but if I saw that and wanted to know who you were, I'd click it, and I give it the same 15 to 30 seconds everyone gives a video they don't trust yet. What do you want them to see? What parts of your past have defined you? What type of projects do you want to create? For me, I'd want them to see a video with a suspenseful and well-paced tone. The lighting would go from normal, low contrast, to more dramatic, high contrast. There'd be narrative scenes depicting me directing, and interviews being shot by me. I would talk about how important it is for me to get my audience to connect with the work emotionally. How important actor movement, blocking, and scene structure are. Using a highly dramatic scene, I would draw my audience in, and then BAM! A shock scare. Some kind of creature would blast on the screen with a sound cue, because I want the audience to know that I am creating suspenseful thrillers in either the horror or action genre. I wouldn't talk about my past or where I grew up a lot. We all have great origin stories, but this isn't my origin as a filmmaker. This is who I am as a filmmaker. Every project has delivery specifications. These are normally outlined in the deliverables list from the distributor or the clients themselves, depending on the type of project you're creating. For this project, we want a video that is 3 to 5 minutes long, in HD resolution, that sounds pleasing and tells your story fluidly. Don't be overly concerned with these delivery specs right now. Understanding this type of technical information, it's why you came to college in the first place. Delivery specifications don't tell you the heart and soul of a project. Let's take a minute and evaluate what we're looking for. Auster's quote is a great starting place for your project. Look to your past for the reasons you started your journey as a filmmaker. Define the conflicts you've already overcome and start to look at the ones ahead of you. The Who I Am project is about you on an emotional and visceral level. It's about peeling back a multitude of layers to expose the artist technician that you are. As wonderful as it sounds, it should be a challenging and introspective journey. As you progress through this program, you're moving from audience member and amateur filmmaker to the professional. You'll be faced with deadlines and activities that may seem insurmountable. Your life outside of Full Sail University will still be affecting everything you do. From personal hardships to working extra hours, your journey as a filmmaker is both unique and inspiring. It's passionate and inspiring stories that audiences gravitate to. Format, also known as genre, that we're using for this is the interview documentary. The interview documentary has a signature look. It's an on-camera interview situation with B-roll footage intercut to either back up or add emphasis to what the interviewee is saying. Now, what we don't want is a show and tell talking head video. And what I mean by that is a video with one or two camera angles and very little B-roll footage to support what is being said. Every project is made up of assets. During the course of your studies, we're to call these assets that are combined to create the Who Am I project components. Simply put, a component is an asset that is assigned in a class, created outside of classwork, and is due in another class. The student is responsible for continuing to work on these between classes. Our goal is for you to learn the skills needed to complete these assets in class on other projects. Then use that knowledge to create the assets for your Who Am I project. This not only allows you to create multiple projects, but control the pace for getting these assets completed before deadlines. These are the required components for your Who I Am as a Filmmaker project. Let's take a moment and break this list down into the individual portfolio sections that these will be introduced to. Your first portfolio class introduces you to the treatment and mood board. These are important parts of the development phase. While not every project may actually create a mood board, it can be a fantastic tool for effectively communicating the mood and tone of the project. Since effective communication is key when creating projects, every tool at our disposal can be a useful one. The vast majority of projects begin as a treatment of some kind. The length and style of that treatment are dependent upon the scope of the project, genre of the project, and the client. Both of these will be introduced to you in Visual Storytelling 1. Once you've completed your treatment, it's time to start working on your script. During the Portfolio 1 class, you'll begin writing the first page of your Who Am I as a Filmmaker script and creating the first 6 storyboards. The completed 1 to 3 page script and storyboards are to be completed before Visual Storytelling 2. You'll be given critiques and recommendations that are due in Project and Portfolio 1. This process of revision is the heart of our portfolio system. Project and Portfolio 2 has a few more components that will be added to the project. Composition and visual design is where you're going to learn how to create a shot list and storyboards while making a different video. Outside of class, you'll create the shot list and storyboards for your Who I Am project. These will need to be completed before Visual Storytelling 2 so you can work on the audio components during that month. These components will all be due in the first week of Project and Portfolio 2. During Project and Portfolio 2, you will be refining your work and finishing the basic pre-production phase of the project. You will also be shooting the final interview footage during this class. Upon leaving Project and Portfolio 2, you'll have a final locked script, storyboards, shot list, interview footage, and a basic pre-production pack. This pre-production pack is the beginning of your production Bible. The Portfolio 3 cycle will encompass the rest of your production and post-production stages of your Who Am I as a Filmmaker project. Fundamentals of Production 1 finishes the production phase of your project. During this phase, you're going to shoot the B-roll footage and gather more of the key paperwork for your production Bible. All the production footage and B-roll footage is due at the beginning of Fundamentals of Production 2. This is where you'll begin the post-production phase of the project. During Fundamentals of Production 2, you'll be creating a fine cut of your project that will be delivered at the very beginning of Project and Portfolio 3. Think back to Project and Portfolio 2 when everything was due in week 1. During Project and Portfolio 3, you will be refining the final revision so you can deliver the final film submission and production Bible for the Who I Am as a Filmmaker project. I know this is a lot of information. If you're anything like me, being able to see the entire scope of the project in front of you kind of helps. Please keep in mind, though, this chart is nothing more than a quick visual representation to give you an idea of when a component is introduced and when it's due. This brings us to the quote by Steven Spielberg: "All good ideas start as bad ideas." That's why it takes so long. When looking ahead at your journey, this may seem like a long and difficult process, but I assure you, this will give you all of your great ideas, the time and the revisions they need. I bring up communication one more time because of its extreme importance. The old adage, communication is key, cannot be a truer statement than in filmmaking. Communication between the director and the producer, the director and the cinematographer, the producer and the client, but most importantly, here, today, the communication between the student and the teacher. This is not a journey you should take on your own. As one of your many instructors over the course of this degree program, I can tell you truly that we are here to help. Please reach out to us. Let's answer questions before they become problems. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video. And we look forward to hearing from you and seeing your amazing project.